All right, we are live. Hello, guys. Our
Hello, Milan. How are we
first
doing?
after lunch session. I actually just had lunch. Had to it's like cooking so quickly so I could make it on time for this. So this morning I went to the supermarket and it was actually worse than usual in terms of the wait and the what a nightmare.
How long did you have to wait?
I think I waited probably about 40 minutes to get inside.
Ooh,
And then the lines for the checkout were also really, really long. So
is it a small supermarket?
it's a smaller one, yeah. But I
Ah,
feel like it's actually a little faster than going to Esselunga because I don't know in other cities, but here in Milan, people love Esselunga. And so I feel like that's where most people go in general.
yes, yeah. For Anna and I, it's our just because we are next to an Esselunga. It is on the next street, the next road from our apartment is a big Esselunga.
Ah, that's
Um,
convenient.
Yeah, it is. However, same problem as you. The line can be very very long some days. Uh, but I'm happy to see that in Milan, I think the majority of people are respecting the rules and are doing what they're told to do. It's an inconvenience to have to line up for your food, for your water, for your beer, your bread. But the alternative is much much worse. I
No,
think we should
I
all.
definitely agree. I'm also quite surprised by because I think in the first few days when there was still a bit of uncertainty of the rules and how to behave, I feel like a lot of people weren't taking it as seriously as they should. But yeah, the last 2 weeks in particular, in terms of keeping the distance, yesterday I actually saw I saw a tweet. Someone was saying that now every time they watch a movie and they see people that are not following the 1 meter distance, they get anxious.
Yes, seeing people kissing is going to make everybody
Yeah, it's
react
like
very
no, can't
strangely.
do that. It's gonna be strange when this is all over, huh? Like just to get back to having like closer contact, especially in a place like Italy where it's
Yes, exactly. Well, I saw another thing, someone saying, um, just so we all know, we are living through a future history class.
yeah,
Um,
that's
you know, we
definitely true. Yeah,
it's one of those moments when you are going to be on a future Wikipedia page.
yeah,
Uh,
especially here. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So I wonder if Tiago, from now on, even after this is over, because it will be over, guys, we will get through this, it will end. But when it's over, Tiago, you and I will no longer shake hands. Maybe it's going to be all, elbow
No, yeah,
bumps.
exactly. Yeah.
And
But,
that will just be.
but come to think of it, it does kind of make sense, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, like shaking hands is something we do so much. But if you think about it, I mean, your hands, you're literally touching everything all the time. Um,
It's true. It's true. And I'm incredibly lucky. I did a little family history yesterday. Um, neither I, my mum, my dad, or my brother have ever had the flu, ever.
yeah,
And
come to think of it, I don't think I've ever had it either.
yeah, you've not had it either. I know
I
it's
don't
so
think so.
strange. I even looked it up. It is. I don't think it's that people are immune. I think it's just that we get it, but we don't have symptoms to it.
Yeah,
As
that
far as I
could be. Yeah.
understand, but it's very because I know we're talking about personality here, but when Italians use the word fever, don't they, a lot? Fe Ho febbre. I have a fever, right?
Yeah.
But in English, for me, I would never say that. I would say in English, I have a temperature.
The temperature, sure. Yeah.
because to me, fever is more, how can I say, is worse. Fever is like in the films when the person is lying in bed all sweaty and I'm disorientated.
Yeah.
That's a fever.
I mean, I
I
think
don't
even
I
checking your
don't know when.
temperature.
Yeah.
I don't have a thermometer. For example, I don't think I've ever had a thermometer. So maybe, hey, I have had
Yeah.
fever, just never checked.
Yeah, it's true actually. Okay, when I was young, maybe also for you, Thiago, when you were a kid, when you were growing up, maybe your family, there was a thermometer in the
Yes,
house.
growing up, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, but I definitely don't have one here in my flat here in Milan.
Yeah. No, exactly. So, yeah, no, strange times for sure.
But for sure. But
Um,
listen, guys, there is a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. I've been checking the news. It does look like that slowly but surely the numbers are starting to improve. The number of cases is going to hopefully start to go down in the next few days. So, fingers crossed. Obviously, it doesn't just mean, hey, presto, everyone go out again, go to work, go to school, life is back to normal. But it does mean, hopefully, that the very distressing images and news we've seen about the hospitals and the people dying, that could start to end soon. So, fingers crossed.
let's hope so. Absolutely. Good
Let's
expression
hope.
as well. Fingers crossed.
Yes. Do they say, Thiago, you'll know, do they say that in Italian? Fingers crossed?
Yeah, you could say there's something like that. Yeah, like in Italian, it's more like "let us cross our fingers," something like that.
Ah, okay. So it's more
Um,
of a collective effort.
exactly. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fiorella has just joined us. I believe, I would say, is also from Milan. So welcome, Fiorella.
Welcome, Fiorella. I'll introduce myself because I forgot to at the beginning because too busy talking about supermarkets and the end of the world. So, guys, my name is Liam. Okay, I'm 30 years old. I'm from Manchester in the United Kingdom. And I've been a teacher at Myers Meravigli for just over 2 years now.
That's it. And I am Thiago. I am 29. I am originally from Brazil, though I've spent quite a bit of time in California growing up. And I am one of Liam's colleagues, also in Milan Meravigli here in Milan. And we have Ilalia, who just wrote to us. She lives in Rome, but she comes from Mozambique. Oh, really
Ah,
cool. So you also speak Portuguese, maybe?
I was just
That's
about to say,
that's
bom
my
dia.
first language. So
All
great.
right, bom dia, Eulalia. Tiago will take it from there, from the
Yes,
Portuguese.
I really like your Brazilian accent there on that, Liam. The
Oh, is
J,
that true?
that's very
Was that
Brazilian,
was
yeah. Bom dia, yeah.
ah? I
In
did.
Portugal, maybe in Mozambique as well, I'm not sure, but I know that Portuguese that is spoken in some African countries tend to be more similar to Portugal. So it might be more like a
Ah,
bon dia or something. So
dia, like a
yeah, kind of like in
okay.
Italian, yeah,
Interesting. Didn't know that. Did not know
yeah.
that. Raffaele is hi, 35
Ah,
years
yes.
old.
I remember
Hi,
Raffaele
Raffaele.
from yesterday. Yesterday, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah, I had a
I think
lesson with
Tiago
him.
was he in one of our focuses as well, or maybe Raffaele was with Michelle and I yesterday.
I think it was with Sean. We were doing like a clothing one yesterday. So great, guys! Nice to
Ah,
see everyone back. Giovanna as
yeah.
well from Naples, really nice. And Giovanna, if I can just correct the spelling, it might be a little typo. Naples, we would spell it like this. All right, really nice. You trying the English spelling.
Yeah, but
Fantastic.
also Giovanna, you could. I mean, Tiago, right? Giovanna could say Napoli, and people would know.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like
I think that's one of
everyone
the,
would know.
that. It's one of those. It's weird because, especially in England, because we're obsessed with football, with soccer, we say Naples for the city, but for the football team, we say Napoli.
Ah, sure. You maintain, yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
weird, but I think most people, if you said I'm from Napoli, they're going to know what you mean. I wouldn't worry too much about saying Naples.
Yeah, it's funny how we do translate kind of we adapt some words but not the others. I also find it funny the other way around in Italian. You know, a lot of most American cities are not Italianized. For instance, you know, in Portuguese and Spanish, when you say New York, you translate the new. So you'd say like, but Italians would never say Nuova York. It's always New York.
Ah,
But then,
okay,
but
okay.
then, like Baltimore becomes Baltimora, and it's just like, why Baltimore? You know what I mean?
Oh, no way! I never knew that. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
That, that's really weird. Eulalia got back to you on the Portuguese thing, Tiago.
Ah,
She's
great. Fantastic. Portuguese. Here, I would say, Lalia, babe, say people speak Portuguese. So people
yeah,
speak, and then just the spelling as well there. People speak Portuguese in Mozambique, Angola, Capo Verde, Guinea-Bissau, and Santo Tomé and Príncipe. Fantastic. Excellent.
that's right. The
Thank you.
shadow of the Portuguese Empire looms large,
Yeah.
right?
And Rafaele, his favorite football team is Salernitana. All right. All right.
Fantastic.
So wonderful,
Okay,
guys.
so
Welcome.
guys, excellent. Yeah, welcome everybody. So Tiago, we are describing personality today.
Absolutely. So today, specifically, we will be looking at the present simple, different adjectives and words to describe personality, and just some general vocabulary related to that as
Mhm.
well. And Ilalia, her
This
favorite football team is Capri. So cool.
very good. Cool. And guys, this is a great focus for you guys to join in. You know, you can describe yourselves, you can describe your friends, you can describe your family. So don't be shy. Go for it. You know, throw in your. We want to know. We want to see your examples.
Absolutely. So here we have some questions for you guys that you, if you want to answer them, that would be fantastic. You can choose one or two in particular. Let us know
Hmm.
the answer in the comments. So here, I'll read the questions and then Liam and I can discuss while you answer. So number
Sure.
one, how many people are in your family?
Okay.
Two,
Yeah.
do you live with your family? Do you often spend time with your family? And what do you usually do with them? Maybe it could be good to clarify here, Liam, the meaning of spend time. Do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, sure. So spend time means usually means in a recreational sense. It means you do things together. Okay, so if you spend time with your family, it's the activities. I was about to say normal activities like going out, or but you know things like watching TV together, eating together, going out together. Spending time means not in a work sense, it's not professional or academic. This is recreational, this is fun, this is free time. And you can spend your time as an individual, you know. So, for example, I can spend my time reading at home. If I have time that is empty, unoccupied, I can spend my time reading, or I can spend time with my girlfriend, and the two of us can go for a walk, or we can go to a cafe. I'm talking hypothetically at the moment, for example.
Great. Yeah. In fact, I mean, I would imagine that a lot of families are spending more time together
Ah,
these last few weeks because so many of them
that's
have to
much.
be home.
That's
Uh,
very true. Absolutely. Yeah. So we could say like we are all spending more time than usual together with the people we live with. I mean, Tiago, you've got your roommates. I live with my girlfriend, and you know we're spending a lot more time together because we're all at home.
yes, absolutely. Um,
Okay. And yeah. Okay. So Tiago, Eulalia. Sorry, am I saying that right? Eulalia.
yeah, I would guess so. Maybe, yeah, Eulalia.
Eulalia. Sorry,
Eulalia. I
Eulalia.
mean, if it is Portuguese, I would imagine it's like kind of like in Italian. So Eulalia.
All right.
But
I'll
let us
again
know.
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Okay. In answer to the first question, Eulalia says, "My family has 5 people. I, my husband, and 3 children." Okay. Very good. All right. Well, congratulations, Eulalia. 3 children. That's wonderful. Giovanna says, there are 3 people in my family. My 2 sons and me. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, a
That's so
nice
nice. 2
construction as
sons.
well.
I was just going to say, this is really good construction, Thiago, because you and we often hear the mistake. For example, we are in 3,
Yeah,
or in my family, we are 5, right? These 2 examples, though,
they're
really good.
very good. My family has, or there are. I mean, that's absolutely the correct way. So really good job, Eulalia and Giovanna. Fantastic.
Very, very impressive. Yeah, really good.
Fiorella also
Oh,
has
we've
a
got a good
nice
long
example
answer.
there. Wonderful. So she says, in my family, there are 3 people, my mom, my sister, and
No.
me. I live with my family. I sometimes spend time at night, but at the moment, I always spend time with them because I don't go out. Fiorella,
Yeah,
fantastic answer. Super
very good.
accurate, not a single mistake. Wonderful, wonderful job.
Very good. Really, really impressive. Eulalia says, I can spend my time studying English, cooking, cleaning, and helping my, I think that's daughter,
Probably
maybe.
daughter. Mm-hmm.
I think that's, yeah, my
Still
daughter.
correct the
Okay, Eulalia.
spelling.
Yeah, Eulalia, really, really good. Just a couple of things as well. We don't say make homework in English, we do. We do homework.
Exactly.
Okay. And Raffaele, what's he said? Raffaele says, hang on. In my family, we are 4 people, and I live with my family. I pass all time in my house because virus corona. Yeah, we all do.
Yes.
So just yeah, we know what you mean, Raffaele. Um, just a couple of things, Raffaele. Again, this thing of we are 4. I would say just maybe there are 4 people in my family. I would say maybe just like kind of switch the construction and say instead of we are, say there are. Okay, like for example, there are 4 people in my family. I'll just see if I can type that up because sorry, my typing comment is being a little bit slow. Sorry. And they say, I pass all the time in my house because of the coronavirus. Thanks, Thiago, because yeah, mine's not been very
Oh, no
responsive,
problem. Yeah, I
unfortunately.
can take care of the comments here then. Great. Yeah, the hotel say coronavirus. So we just switch that up, and instead of pass the time, I would say spend time. We do have the expression to pass time. Pastime is
Yes.
what a lot of us have to do, in this time period. Some days can be very long because we have to stay at home. So to pass the time, I watch
Yeah.
Netflix, I play video games, I listen to music. I do that to pass the time. So to make the time go by a little faster. That's pastime,
Yeah.
if possible. And spend time, as Liam explained before, is kind of like to socialize, to be with other people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like pass the time is when it's like alleviate boredom. You don't want to be bored. You don't want to be unoccupied. So things like when you have to take a very, very long train journey or a very, very long flight, things you can do to pass the time. You can watch something, read a book, talk to people, play games. Those are things you can do to pass the time because you don't want to be bored. Eulalia says as well, another thing she does, make videos of my daughter dancing. Oh, that's very sweet.
Great.
That's very sweet. Yeah, you don't need to say do, Eulalia. You can just say make videos of my daughter dancing. Very sweet. Well, I'm sure that's a very good way to pass the time. Okay, well that's those guys. Thiago, what about you? How many people are in your family?
So in my family, so including me, there are 4 people. So
Okay.
we're a pretty small family, I would say. So it's me. I have a younger sister, and then of course my father and my mother.
Okay.
And what about
Very
you,
good.
Liam? Do you have a big family, a small family?
Yeah, it's quite small. I suppose there are 5 of us now because it's my mum, my dad, and my brother. But my brother got married 3 years ago. So
Ah,
yeah, so my brother got married. So guys, the wife of my brother in English is known as, in English, my sister in law. Okay, so when someone marries your brother,
oh, wait, Liam. I think your microphone is mute. Not sure if you can. Because I see the microphone icon is okay. Maybe now. Yes. Okay. There you
sorry,
go.
sorry guys, do not know what happened there. Sorry, I don't know how much of that you got, but I'll just put it up and say, yeah, the wife of my brother, that person would be my sister-in-law. So in total, there are 5 of us in my family.
Great. We have a couple other answers here. Giovanna is saying, I spend time with my family in the evening, after dinner, and on the weekend because every day I work and my sons study. So the evening
Yes.
or after dinner is when you have some time together. Also, yeah, during the weekend. Fantastic. Um, and then Eulalia, here, Eulalia, you don't need verb to be. You can just say, I have. I have
Yeah.
a big family. Mother, my father has died. I would just put the H there, has died. But I have 2 brothers and 4 sisters. Wow, yeah, that is indeed quite a large
That's a
family.
big family. Yeah. Wow. 2 brothers and 4 sisters. Wow. Yeah, I just have 1 brother. That's it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, 1 sister. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And of course, and then growing up partly in the States, I was like away from all my relatives. And so growing up, it's something I always kind of like wish I had was more kind of contact with like a family, like this idea of, the extended family. In Brazil, it's a pretty big deal. People do spend a lot of time with families, but I never had that except for the
Yeah.
holidays when I got to go down.
So that kind of, well, I guess at the moment, obviously that, and we know the second one. Do you live with your family? Of course, neither you nor I
Mm-mm.
do we, Thiago?
Nope.
But yeah, but before I moved to Italy 3 years ago, I lived with my family. I lived with we all lived together before I moved to Italy. But now I live here. My brother and his wife have their own house. So, but yeah, before that, we all lived together.
Great. All right. And so some of you already gave us some, Giovanna said that she spends like some time after dinner. Eulalia gave us some really good examples, like she makes videos of her daughter, cook, help them with homework. So look at question number 4 there, guys. What do you usually do with your family? So, for
Yes.
example, as Liam and I were saying, we don't spend so much time with our families because we don't live in the same country. But when I do, let's see. So we spend definitely a lot of time cooking and eating. That's a big one for sure. We like to
Same.
travel a bit because we don't see each other very much. So when we do, we also like going maybe to the beach or going up to the mountains, doing something a little bit more special than just staying home because we have such, precious little time together. Um, we like watching movies as well. I guess we don't play too many games. That's one thing in my family we never did too much.
Okay.
What about you, Liam? What do you do with your family usually?
Some things very similar. We do a lot of cooking and a lot of eating. We like to go out as a family. We like going out to bars, to restaurants, to the cinema. That's one thing. I think we're a very a very sociable, outgoing family. So we love going out. We like meeting up with our extended family. So with my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, because not all of us, but we live close to some of them, so we can get together for things like birthdays, for example. And especially with me, my mum, and my dad, we all really like watching football together. That's one thing that we.
Great.
Yeah, that's probably the thing that's impacted from the coronavirus. The one that I'm most distressed by is the cancellation of all of the football events this summer. That's really upset me. Okay, Raffaele says.
Oh, hang on. Let me close the window because I think they're doing some construction work out here. Just
No
give me
problem.
1 second.
No problem. I'll just say, Raffaele. Just again, you don't need the verb to be there. You can just say, I spend all time with my family at night. So again, you don't need the verb to be. You can just say, I spend my time with my family. And Eulalia says, usually with my family, I watch soap opera, Un Posto al Sole or Bruno Barbieri program for hotel. But sometimes, I think this maybe is a typo because I know some people use their phones. I think maybe Eulalia means I go to a park or a restaurant. Okay, remember the English spelling is similar. But I think maybe what Eulalia means there is that sometimes I go to a park or a restaurant. Really
Great.
good.
Yeah.
Again, really good, guys. Thank you so much for giving us all your answers. This is really helpful.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Go ahead. You can keep writing. We'll keep checking your comments. So we'll be talking, of course, about personality today. But another thing we can talk about is physical descriptions. And when we're talking about physical descriptions, we would use two different verbs. I can use the verb to have if I am talking about my hair or my eyes, especially. And then we use the verb to be if I am talking about, for example, my height. So if I'm tall, short, maybe my body shape, that's more verb to be. That's for physical descriptions. We do have a couple other comments here. Fiorella, when I'm with my family, we like watching a comedy film while eating popcorn, chips, etc. We like going together to a big mall too. Again, really nice
good
accuracy there, Fiorella. Good vocabulary. A mall,
very good.
Yeah, mall or shopping center. Excellent.
Yeah, remember those, Thiago?
Malls, yeah. Back in the day.
Back in the day. What's in the future, right? That's going to be, what's a mall? What's a shopping center?
Although it is quite cultural as well. I know that in Brazil, for instance, I mean, malls are huge because also of the violence that you have. Malls are a very safe place to go, and so that's where a lot of like socialization happens.
You know what? Do you know what? I've heard that's true in another country that has problems with violence, which is the Philippines.
Yeah, so people go to malls.
Yeah, and because there are security guards, and you have to go through metal detectors, and it's almost like going to the airport when you go into one of these places.
Yeah,
very difficult to imagine.
Really fancy. I mean, sometimes you find even like clinics inside the mall. So they have like everything. It's just like it's funny because I think in a lot of European countries, in the US, I mean, malls are kind of dying. People aren't going to them so much, and especially with online shopping, especially.
But in some countries, they're these safe spaces. Yeah. Eulalia says, sometimes I go to the park. So again, just a little thing, Eulalia, but really good. Sometimes I go to the park, and you can say like a restaurant because we're just talking generally, for example. Giovanna says, in my free time, my sons and I usually talk about our daily activities, or we play together with Risk.
Really?
Very good.
Great.
It's a classic board game. Yeah. In English, it's just Risk, R-I-S-K.
Yeah, it's a very nice game to pass the time, as we said before, because it takes very, very long to play it.
Yes, I think, games like Monopoly, because Monopoly takes forever, doesn't it? So that might be a good one to invest in at the moment.
I can't remember last time I finished a Monopoly game because after a while I just get so tired of it.
Yeah, it's also it's way too realistic for millennials, paying rent, losing your property. It's far too it's a bit matrixy for me. Okay,
Yeah,
Raffaele's I think Thiago, he's taken up your advice about the verb to be, the verb to have
great.
here. Says, I'm 35 years old. I'm medium. Okay, so nearly medium height. Okay, because high is the adjective. Okay, so again, just a little thing, Raffaele, but we would say I'm medium height. I have red hair and brown eyes. Really good. Really, just again, little
Nice
thing,
job.
but very, very, very nice example.
Exactly. And good use of to be and to have as well. So yeah, so height, as we can see
Yeah.
here, guys, these are the options. We can say you can be tall, short, or medium height. Body shape. So it can be fat. So if if you're quite big, you'd say you're fat. And then slim and thin. I mean, they're fairly. I would say maybe thin is a little bit. It's like smaller, right? Is that how you see it, Liam? Slim and thin.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I almost, I mean, this is subjective, but I almost feel like in some cases, slim is positive and thin can be more negative. I don't know. That, like you say,
Yeah,
that slim is thin in a healthy way. I don't know if maybe that's subjective, but that's just if we're talking about is there a difference between them? I think in some situations, depending on the context, there can be a difference.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
Raffaele gave us some really nice examples with like hair color and eye color. We can talk about hairstyle as well. You can say your hair is long, short, curly, or
Yeah, that kind
straight.
of this thing, curly.
Yeah,
Yeah, or just straight.
that's right. So, Liam, can you describe yourself physically?
Sure, yeah. I guess I'm medium height because I'm about 5'11", so I would say I'm medium height. I'm slim for now. Let's see what happens after the quarantine. I'm slim for now. That's why I've started doing yoga, in fact, to try and keep myself slim. And yeah, I've got short, well, yeah, like short or maybe medium length, but short, straight brown hair, and I have green eyes.
Wonderful. And as
What
for
about you,
me,
Thiago?
I am definitely short. I am 5'7". So I would
Okay.
say pretty much everywhere. Though Italy is a nice place to live in because I don't feel self-conscious about my height as I've always done in America or other places where I travel to. I
Or the
would also
Netherlands, right?
say, or gosh, or the Netherlands. Yeah, they're the tallest people. So. And I am also slim. I have short brown hair, and I've also got brown eyes.
Excellent. Excellent. Eulalia, she's given us an example. Oh, sorry, I think we both clicked it then. Sorry.
Yeah,
She says, I'm 45 years old. I'm medium height. I have brown, so Eulalia, remember plural because you've got two of them, brown eyes and human. Again, I think this must be a typo. Maybe this is medium.
Yeah.
Eulalia, sorry, maybe it's a typo because my hair, okay, so my hair, I think we would say my hair does not grow, I think is what maybe Eulalia wants to say. Does not grow. Because Eulalia, grow up, if you use the preposition up, grow up is for people. Okay, so, it's for like when children get older, they start as babies, they grow up. Okay, but when you're talking about hair or a plant or a tree, flowers, vegetation, then we can say just grow.
That's it. Great.
What does Fiorella say?
I am medium height and slim. I have got long, straight black hair. My eyes are dark brown.
Really good. Again,
Really like on fire.
Fiorella's killing it on the accuracy. Really good.
Yeah, so Lali is saying, and my body shape now is very fat. Yeah, so Lali, I think that's what's going to happen to everyone after this period.
The quarantine body, we'll all be saying afterwards, like after Christmas, you talk about holiday weight, you're carrying your quarantine weight. Very good. What does Giovanna say? I'm 45 years old. I'm medium height. So just a little thing, Giovanna, and it may seem strange about why is this important, but we would say short blonde instead of blonde short. It's just the cadence of adjectives. You'd say, I've got short blonde hair and blue eyes. Very good.
Exactly.
Really good.
Yeah, you can just follow the order that you see here. So see first, you say the style and then the color.
Yeah, really good, guys. Everybody is giving us such good examples because all of them, like all the mistakes, they're these little like accuracy mistakes, but everyone's really clearly understanding the questions. So this is very good.
That's right. And then another thing that could be nice to practice is, of course, to talk about this in the third person. So remember, if you're using the singular, he or she or even it, we usually put the S after the verb. So in this case, though, we're dealing with verbs that have irregulars. So have becomes has, and then to be would be simply is.
Okay, right. Yeah, so this is when you're describing, like it says, describing family members. So where you would say I have or I am, if I'm talking about my brother, I would say he has or he is, for example. Okay, so it's just a little conjugation that we need to do when we're talking in the third person. Okay, and I think you can see, I'll just highlight this first one, that Thiago's written a really good example where he said, I have brown hair. My brother has blonde hair, because there's that third person. And the same again here. I am short. My sister is tall. Okay. So again, guys, it'd be great if we could get some examples, just maybe think of a family member or even a friend, it could be, and just see if you can give us a physical description of them.
Yeah. For example, I can describe my father. My father is medium height. He is quite fat now as well. He has short black hair and brown eyes like me. Okay. And many people say that I look a lot like my father in terms of our characteristics, especially our faces. We're quite similar.
And does your sister look like your mother?
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
we have that in my family.
Yeah.
Yes, we have that in my family. I look like I have my dad's face, but my mum's hair, whereas my brother has my mum's face, but my dad's hair.
Yeah, we alternate in terms of personality, because I have my mom's personality more. My sister has more of my dad's kind of more explosive personality.
Yeah, so again, I'll just do a quick description before maybe we move on to some personality descriptions. I'll talk about my brother. My brother is tall. He's slim. And he has short, curly black hair. And he has brown eyes. My brother is very often mistaken for an Italian person. In fact, he's been asked in the street if he's Spanish, Israeli, Italian, Cuban. He really? Doesn't look very. Yeah, he especially in the summer, if he goes tan, if he goes brown, he looks very Mediterranean. My brother. I've got the Irish, pale white skin complexion.
Yeah, people say that. I mean, even though I think it's more of a generalization, a stereotype, but people usually expect someone from Brazil to be, to have like darker skin than I do. So I tend to get this comment a lot of like, "Oh, you don't look Brazilian," even though
Yes.
Brazilians we look like anything really. So in fact,
It's
I've read that one of the so in terms of like fake documents, the Brazilian passport is the one that people tend to make the most because anyone can look Brazilian, so it doesn't raise a lot of suspicion when you're traveling.
Oh, that's very interesting, actually, but makes perfect sense. Yeah, because Brazil is a real rainbow nation, isn't it? People of European descent, African descent, indigenous descent, Asian descent,
Yeah,
etc. Very, very diverse,
yeah.
multiracial, multicultural
Yeah,
society.
and historically, because even if you compare to places like the U.S., the U.S. people refer to it as the melting pot, etc.
Yeah,
And of course, there is mixing, but in many ways, historically, there have been neighborhoods. So certain groups of people from certain countries they kind of stayed more separated.
yeah.
Whereas in Brazil, compared at least to the U.S., there has been more sort of like mixing of people from different backgrounds, and so yeah,
It's a feijoada.
so exactly.
It's a all right, just before we talk about these character adjectives, just a few examples. My sister is younger than me. She is tall and thin. She has short, curly black hair. Her eyes are brown. Fiorella, again, just killing it today. Fantastic. Really good. What I like as well, just very quickly, Fiorella, is she's not overly complicating these sentences.
Yeah,
She's just using these short but clear, correct examples. And I think that's a really good tip for everyone in general, guys. Don't make your sentences more complicated than necessary. When we're starting out, keep it simple because that's how we build confidence because we're not making mistakes.
absolutely, yes.
Okay, my husband is tall. Yolani, you can just say, my husband is tall. You don't need height. Just, my husband is tall and has short gray hair and green eyes. Very good. Raffaele says, my sister is 33 years old. She is thin and has long curly brown hair. She has bright eyes. Really good. Ilalia, my son is 16 years old. He is tall, has brown eyes, and short black hair. Again, we don't
Wonderful.
need height, just is tall.
Yeah, the only one with height is medium height, but the others, yeah, tall, short, is fine. Good,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly.
And just before we finish, because we got about 8 minutes or so left, we can also use verb to be to talk about personality. And I think this is actually easier in many ways than having to remember have or be, or do I
Yeah,
first say a long
yeah,
or short and the color. This is fairly simple. You just have to remember what they mean. So let us know some of these opposites, or just maybe for time's sake, you can think about it, and then we will show you the answers okay, and then you can give examples. So think of some examples. Try to describe someone in terms of their personality, their character.
yeah.
The first one is talkative. Now, of course, we have the verb to talk. So someone who talks a lot is talkative. And the opposite of talkative is, of course, quiet. You say to someone, be quiet. So quiet
Yeah.
is the opposite.
Yeah, and then the next one we've got is hard working. So again, we've got the verb work, and then hard. Hard can mean, with effort, for example, with a lot of energy and drive and passion. So hard working means that you're a person who really tries to work well, who tries to complete their work, to work a lot. Okay, but then of course we've got the opposite, which is people who don't like working, who don't enjoy work, who try to avoid work. And of course, those people are lazy. Okay, we've got hardworking people and we've got lazy people.
That's right. And then we have the third one, which for the Italian speakers in the room, this could be a false friend. So polite does not mean clean. It
Yes.
means, well, if you're polite, you have good manners. So you say thank you, please, you are considerate. So you are polite. And the opposite of that is rude. Polite or rude.
Yeah, so rude is, like Thiago said, people who, for example, if you hold the door open for a person, they just walk past you. They don't say thank you or things like that. You would think, oh, how rude. You know, that person didn't say thank you.
Exactly.
The next one, again, this one is
Yeah.
quite easy for Italians because it's very similar. And in fact, yeah, very good. Eulalia has already given us the answer. Someone who's honest is a person who tells the truth. And then obviously someone who tells lies, who doesn't tell the truth, that person is dishonest. Okay, so again, even though we've got the H, this is one of those words that in English we're not going, it's just an open sound. Oh, honest, dishonest.
That's right. And then we have the next two as well. Just careful with the spelling there, Giovanna. But yes, someone who is serious. The opposite of serious would be someone who is funny. So they make others laugh. They're usually in a good mood. They're fun to be around. So yeah, serious or funny. And lastly, we have, of course, shy, which you can also say, you can kind of say timid as well, though shy is, I think it's used more often if you're talking about people's personality. Shy, and the opposite is outgoing.
Yeah, we do say timid in English, but I feel like it's for slightly different cases. I don't know, Thiago. Someone who's timid maybe refers to maybe a lack of confidence, whereas shy refers to just disliking talking to people. They're very, very similar, but maybe there are some situations where you might use one and not the other.
Wait, so we have, Elena has a question. So the question here we say why. Okay, so YH English. So why do we pronounce? Now, usually we do. This is actually an exception, right, Lale, when we look at honest. In this case, we don't pronounce it. We don't say honest. It's honest. But most of the time, yes. So I have brown hair. Hello. How are you? This is an exception.
Yeah, just some words again, just trying to, just put them in, but my comment box is being very slow. Yeah, I've just written up like three examples where the H is silent, which you should see in a minute, is, yeah, these words. So our, honest, our, okay, and honor. Okay, those words, those are probably three of the most common words where the H is silent. So we say honest, our, honor. Okay, we do not pronounce the H in those words.
Yes, in Italian.
Exactly, yes. Exactly. In English, no, we have both. But in the majority of words, like Thiago said, in the majority of words, you will go, you will make a sound.
That's it.
Really?
So we only have about 2 minutes left, guys. But in the meantime, maybe if you could describe yourself in the first person or somebody else in your family with the third person, let us know. And just remember, if you would like to say it in the negative, we can also just say isn't. So is or isn't. Where's the apostrophe? Is, isn't. Third person, am or am not. The first person.
Yeah, so I'll just put a quick example because, again, we do only have a few minutes left, but just to give an example of both positive and negative, I would say that I'm talkative and polite, but I would also say that I'm not rude or quiet. Okay, those would be my examples for, that's in the first person, that's describing myself, for example.
Exactly. Let's see. For me, now I am generally shy, I think naturally, although I think I do have a slightly different personality when I teach. And so when I teach, I am more talkative, I seem more outgoing and even funnier, for example. But generally speaking, I would also say that I am polite. I try to be honest, although I think sometimes, out of politeness, maybe I might be a little not as honest as I could be. And yeah, so there are just some adjectives there. We also have Eulalia, who gave us a few
Yeah,
examples. I am
really
talkative,
good.
honest, and I'm not quiet.
Okay.
Wonderful. Good negative as well. I'm a shy
I am a
person, but
shy person
friendly.
but friendly. I'm
I am
honest and I'm
honest.
not lazy. Really good. Really good. Okay, guys, I'm afraid we've run out of time today.
Yes, but
But
thank you so much for all the participation. This was a great focus, everyone. Giving
yeah, really
input,
good.
comments. Thank you, really.
Yeah, really, really impressive, guys. Like we said before, the mistakes that people were making were very minor, easy to correct. So really good, really impressive. All right, guys, thank you so much, Thiago. Thank you, and
Thank you.
we'll see you guys again soon when when this is all over and we can see you all again in the school and things start to slowly but surely get back to normal.
Absolutely. Thank you,
All right,
guys.
guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.